Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're talking about tax in Thailand. This has been a topic that has been on the lips of many expats. I know it's causing a fair bit of consternation in the expat community. To be clear, we're still in this is sort of early days, as they say. We're not completely sure exactly how these changes are going to be implemented. As we discussed in other videos going back a couple of weeks ago, the Thai tax authorities, the Revenue Department here in Thailand, has issued basically a memo that states that policy will be changing with regard to assessable income beginning January 1 of 2024. Now, as we discussed in that video, effectively what's going to happen is in the past there was a timing element wherein one could buffer against or mitigate Thai tax liability if they did not bring in money that was accrued in the same calendar year that it was accrued in. So basically you would move money in a different year, a subsequent year from the year that one accrued given money offshore. That's not going to be the case anymore. And to be clear, this just regularizes Thailand. Thailand had this extra benefit. I've noticed people have sort of framed this as if Thailand is sort of comparably better or worse than it was before. Well, it was better. I would say, yeah, that sort of loophole, as people have called it, did provide a benefit to certain types of individuals. But long story short, Thailand's overall system looks just like any other country that has, various double tax treaties and deals with taxation on a regular basis in an international context. It's, again, Thailand is not some anomaly. If anything, Thailand's just kind of back in the pack with everybody else again. So when you're examining Thailand and you see these videos about tax, understand this is something that was Thailand specific, that was a benefit specific to Thailand, that is now changing as of January 1, 2024. But Thailand's no worse, quote unquote, than any other country in terms of, comparable tax regimes. Thailand's, it's just like any place else you could move when it comes to the tax issue. Now, that said, I have noticed in the ether of the internet, there's a lot of folks out there kind of talking. In my opinion, there are a lot of folks that really should stay in their own lane, quite frankly, because they don't know what they're talking about, honestly. And I like to make it abundantly clear as to where I stand. Yeah, I'm a member of the U.S. Tax Court. I myself am not any kind of a Thai tax expert per se. We make these videos for informational purposes only. We do have an accounting division here in our firm that handles both Thai corporate and Thai individual tax on behalf of our clients. So we do a fair bit of tax work here in Thailand. And as I said, I'm a member of the U.S. Tax Court. I advise from time to time regarding tax matters pertaining to the United States as well. But this isn't a U.S. tax matter. This is a Thai tax matter. So when I hear people that really, okay, they may have some credentials, albeit, sometimes of varying degree, let's put it that way, but they may have some sort of credential to talk about another country's tax system, but hey, it's apples and bowling balls, okay? The Thai system is what it is. That's why I want to be clear. We don't know exactly what's happening. What I do know is it is big. That's what we do know. This is a pretty major policy change. Now, when I first made the videos, I did tell people, calm down, don't fret about this greatly. That said, it's a major change, and it's going to change things moving forward. I especially think it will have an impact on Thai immigration matters, probably not tomorrow, probably not this year or next year, but moving forward from 2025, I can absolutely see a scenario where this has an impact on immigration matters here in the kingdom. Now, that said, what are we talking about with regard to this video? I thought of making this video after reading a recent article from the Thai Examiner. That's thaiexaminer.com. Article is titled, "Change in the Tax Law Does Target Expats Living in Thailand and Extends Reporting Obligations." That title isn't too far off in my mind. I think if anything, yeah, it's stating just kind of the facts. Now, again, I told people not to fret because it didn't really have any impact on anybody in 2023. Going into 2024, it may impact tax issues. Again, reporting requirements. I think there could be implications for immigration moving out past 2024 as well. That said, quoting directly, quote, A new taxation directive issued by the Revenue Department targeting foreign income sources faces a legal challenge and will create more reporting obligations and confusion. The order published on September 15, 2023, altering a 38-year-old interpretation. And bear in mind, this was this was akin to an administrative rule, what we would call an administrative rule back in the United States, or a regulation. It's issued at the behest of the agency which is tasked with undertaking and enforcing the law. So in this case, Revenue Department, it's their job to enforce Thai tax law, and then they can issue regulations to that end. So this was an admin rule that interpreted the law in the past and said, well, if you didn't accrue it in the same calendar year as you brought it into Thailand, we aren't going to assess tax liability on that type of money. In the future, that's going to change. But bear in mind what this is. It's a rule change, not a law change. Quoting further, is a definite step by the government to widen the tax base, meaning more significant reporting requirements at the very least for expats living in Thailand. Kittipong Ura P. Patanapong, along with other legal experts, including a Supreme Court judge, is calling on the Thai government to overhaul the tax system thoroughly to make it competitive with Hong Kong and Singapore. Now that's an interesting one. I think there's good grounds to maybe think about having Thailand, having the Thai tax code look more like a Singapore or Hong Kong. I think it'd be very good for the business community here in Thailand, for the banking sector, the financial sector, etc. That said, that's not really the purpose of this video. At the end of the day, the purpose of this video is to talk to everyday folks, especially expats, about what this stuff means. What it means is it's big, but it's not going to change things tomorrow. So it's something that it's concerning. And again, I've seen stuff in the ether of the internet. Don't worry about this tax stuff, expats, it's all good. Well, don't worry about it. The sky isn't falling. It's not, to quote Bill Murray from Ghostbusters, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. No, it's not to that level. But it is something that is major. This is a major policy change. It has implications for expats. I think it will have implications for immigration in the future. So it's something to keep an eye on. But to just sort of be perpetually panicked or something, no, I don't think that there's any point to that. But that said, again, as the title suggests, don't be flippant about this. At the end of the day, this is a serious change to Thailand's tax rules, albeit a change that's going to occur over the course of the better part of about the next 18 months. So it's probably not something, again, to just be fretting about constantly here in the moment.